This past year, as people were stuck at home, working from home, shopping at home, Zooming from home, dining at home, the other trend that stands out: people went crazy for pets. Stocks like the online pet supply company Chewy more than doubled in 2020. And if you missed out on that run-up, there is another pet-oriented home delivery company that could be the next big thing, at least according to a high-conviction trade that was posted to the Dumb Money Discord group. That company? Barkbox. It's a subscription service that ships themed boxes filled with toys and treats for dogs. It's not a public company, yet it is slated to go public as a SPAC. So today on Dumb Money, is Barkbox a good investment, or are we barking up the wrong SPAC?
This is Dumb Money Live with Chris Camillo, Dave Hansen, and Jordan McLean, streaming live on YouTube. We are Dumb Money.
Hey there, Dave here, along with Chris and Jordan. We are Dumb Money. Welcome to the show. So, Barkbox, my first thought, there's no way it can possibly compete with Chewy or Amazon, but as the Discord's thesis points out, the username there, by the way, LaughTrack, who posted that to Discord, Barkbox is not trying to compete and be the everything pet supply company. It's a niche subscription product just for dogs. They make a great gift. It has a brand following, a brand loyalty. So, Chris, Jordan, what do you think? Are you guys getting into this SPAC thing?
You know, yesterday, I mean, you just compared it to Chewy, and the first thing that popped in my head was yesterday's episode with me, Kevin. We were talking about Wayfair and Etsy. I kind of feel like totally different setup, but this might be kind of like the Etsy. You know, what Etsy is to Wayfair, that's what kind of Barkbox has potential to be to like Chewy. Chewy's like a huge kind of semi-commoditized pet business, pet food, right? Just pet stuff, right?
Everything. They literally sell everything from bird seed to squeaky toys to leashes and collars. I have my dog
and
here.
They're great, right? They're just it's a different beast.
Yeah, I buy my subscription dog food through Chewy. I have not yet bought a Barkbox subscription, but I'm kind of surprised nobody got that for Christmas. Actually, in fact, Chewy might be getting a Barkbox.
Dave, have you gone to see
these
themes that they send? Have you seen the monthly themes?
I've seen a few of them, and it looks pretty cool.
Scooby snacks
for Halloween.
I have questions, but I want to say this: Barkbox is a special company, and I'll tell you why. They are executing. They are just destroying execution. Like, you're right, Jordan. Like, I've seen the stuff. I don't have a dog, but I've seen the stuff that they're sending out, and I see the consumer reaction to it. They are trying really, really hard. They have got an insanely good marketing team, an insanely good product team. Like, these guys are branding themselves. You know what I feel like? I feel like, in a little bit of a way, this is like a mini Peloton for the pet business, because they are that good at building culture and like consumer adoption, and just connection to their brand is sick for like a monthly box of toys. Have you seen this social media? I think these guys have.
Well, and I've seen how Chewy's stock chart has gone up, and that's, you know, just an indication of the market for pets right now. Is Barkbox going to be huge? Is it? I mean, it's never going to be as big, but
it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be, and it can be because it could have better margins. And guys, it's a pure subscription business. I did not want to like this company. When I heard about Barkbox, I was like, dude, this is so late into the dog trade, right? Like the pets trade. We have seen the biggest pet year ever, and now this like subscription service that just basically just sends you a few things a month. It seems so like, it just seems so, I don't know, like an afterthought. Like, they're going to IPO at $1 billion, $2 billion. I think it's like 1.6 billion is what they're settling on. Are you serious right now? No way is what I initially said.
Starting at $23 box. Yeah. All of this stuff in the box is super high margin though, right?
Dave,
and they're making deals, they're making their own stuff.
It's about how they present what's in the box. It's about how they present the brand. It's about how they are building a network and a culture of being part of this thing. It's like, it's exciting. A lot of people, their dogs are their kids. They love their dogs like family, dude. And this is something that's interesting and exciting. And like, I don't think people can wrap their head around this unless they understand the way people think about their dogs. And this, I was shocked at what these guys have pulled off, man. It's unbelievable, groundbreaking pet company like this. Am I wrong? Like, have you seen anything
look,
like
I mean,
this?
here's the deal. I mean, one of the persons that's running the company is from Amazon. I mean, those guys know how to execute, right? And these guys are executing on that plan. They're keeping it fun, and so people stay engaged. And that's, what more can you ask for out of that?
No, Jordan, it's a high margin subscription business. So the only thing in my head, I'm going right back to startup investing, what we do in startups. Cost of acquiring a customer, lifetime value of that customer, basically based on retention. So they're losing, I think, 40% of their customers on an annualized basis. It's not great. It's not terrible either, though, because the TAM is so big. And my thought is, I'm not thinking about this as something I necessarily need to own for 10 years. I'm thinking, what does the next 12 months look like for Barkbox? They raise an IPO. What happens when they raise an IPO? They get tons of cash, okay? That means they could really accelerate the marketing budget, right? The marketing funnel can just go out on steroids the next 12 months. They've already proven that they're able to convert dog owners to customers at a high clip using their amazing advertising funnel, okay? These guys are so crafty at marketing and advertising. They've proven that. So what happens when you add a bunch of fuel, a bunch of money to that? By the way, we're still getting more new dog owners right this second. This holiday season, dogs are still as hot as they were 6 months ago, earlier in the pandemic, right? People aren't getting rid of their dogs next year, right? No way.
No, they're only trying to find things to give them and better ways to treat them. And this is a from that high conviction report I'm trying to pull up. There it is. That is a Google Trends on buy a puppy. So yes, it has dropped off, but all of those puppies are still in houses, and as they get bored.
Yeah, they're still in houses, but then you get, the new dog smell wears off, and then you might not be buying as many things. And so that's where the 40% comes in, right? So if they're losing 40%, it's one of those things that, I got a new puppy, so I got to do all these things, and I got to get this monthly subscription. And then, after a while, you're just like, okay, well, now we've got a bunch of, because you get all these toys and stuff. Now we get all these toys, and it's just enough, so we're fine.
I'm almost thinking, Jordan, though, and Dave, you're the dog, you're both dog owners, but I get that you have a lot of toys, but I figured, I don't think this is something that you buy when you first get a puppy, because you already have a lot going on just with the puppy and the newness of it. I feel like this is kind of a second, it's, something to use to infuse into the relationship.
Well,
I feel like this is not...
like a really young puppy. A lot of times people adopt too. So
we adopted an older dog, and our dog actually doesn't really, older meaning like 3 instead of 1, but she doesn't really play with toys. So I actually would not be the target market to buy a Barkbox, but I think that that's something that people would give me as a gift because they know that I have a dog and that I bring my dog with me on vacation. And wouldn't the best thing to get someone who has everything be toys for their dog on an ongoing basis? It's like the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, totally.
Dave, Lampoons.
Isn't Barkbox almost more for the owner than the dog? Because it's like this whole exciting little stupid thing you get.
The dog has no idea what Peanuts is or what Home Alone is. Any of those themes, it doesn't care. It just knows that it gets to squeak on something, and it doesn't care what it's squeaking on. It's for the owner. And it's really a gift for the owner. I think this is a gift product, not a product that anyone would buy for themselves.
But here's the thing.
At least for me.
Once you get into that subscription mode, right, with a company that and here's what I really want to talk about, loyalty. A brand that impresses its customers. Because I feel that Barkbox, let's talk about the stuff Wall Street doesn't see. Wall Street sees, they're a toy a month club for dogs. Give me a break. Like, people are going to do it a little bit. It's a fad, right? That's what Wall Street's going to think. But what Wall Street probably is not going to see, because they're not good at this stuff, is they're not going to go in really deep to the social. They're not going to really understand the relationship between Barkbox and its customers. They're not going to appreciate the trust that Barkbox is building with its customers being that it will deliver quality, that it will deliver something that exceeds their expectations. So let me throw this out there, guys. You have an industry sector, a TAM, a total addressable market of dog owners. That world, as we know, is monstrously big, okay? Monstrously big. Now, you have a brand that has a cutesy product that enables trial, meaning people are going to get it gifted to them or they're going to try it for a year or something, right? During that experience, the brand impresses the customer so much that they're like, we are going to floor you. We are going to over-deliver and impress you with every time you get a Barkbox. And it becomes a social thing. Had you seen their social media following? It is like, I think it's like way bigger than Chewy is. It's like, it's nuts how big their social media following is.
So Barkbox on Instagram has 1.7 million followers. Chewy has 620,000 followers. Over on Twitter, Barkbox is 309,000 versus 45,000. On TikTok, Barkbox has 59 million views compared to that's hashtag Barkbox. The hashtag Chewy is 64 million, but a small number of those views are people using the hashtag for Chewy, the company. The hashtag gets used for candies and videos and or anything that is Chewy, right? Chewbacca.
So what I'm getting at is, yeah, Chewy's good. There's nothing that Chewy does that Barkbox can't do, by the way. I mean, they're selling food. Barkbox can sell as much food as they want. That's super easy. That's like commoditized, right? So if they have the relationship, once they have the relationship and they impress, that gives them leverage to be able to market other stuff to those dog owners, or to be able to go into the cat arena. There's like 2 or 3 companies that do this with cats. I already looked into them, but they don't have as much oomph as Barkbox has with dogs. And so, but the cat ownership is just as big as dogs, and probably even more obsessive, right, when it comes to getting stuff.
Well, and there's overlap too. So like, you know, they could start introducing cat things and maybe 10-15% of their customers have a cat or whatever that percentage is, and then
but what if they start trialing dog foods, meaning like, hey, you know, we know that you're used to this certain dog food, but you know what, we actually have some really cool, you know, super fresh, organic, made for a human dog food that we know you're not just going to go buy this stuff through Chewy, but you know what, we're going to include it with your Barkbox subscription, you know, every other month, and you could trial them. If your dog really likes one, you could switch over to that, and we'll give you a year, you know, discount to switch over that dog food. And then instead of getting your dog food from Chewy, we're already on a subscription. Just click a box, and we'll just add it to your monthly subscription here at Barkbox. I mean, there's so many areas if they have brand loyalty. And the thing is, I think they do. Among the people that are into this, even though it's kind of something that, are you going to do it forever? I don't know. I think that the brand value is monstrously big here. And what
they have the fun product, where Chewy has the everyday utilitarian. We have to have food. We have to buy a leash. You know, really, everything that Barkbox does is cutesy and fun and intended for social media, and that's where they have this kind of popularity edge. Purely because it's something that you want to talk about.
High turnover in that, you know, it's not a sticky product, and so it's not something that you need, and so their attention span for their customers is going to be pretty short.
I don't know that I would use the word non-sticky, and let me challenge you a little bit, because when I said they lose 40%, that means that 60% of people who have signed up for a thing of the month, maybe they got it from a friend or a gift or whatever, after a full year of that are like, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, like if they can keep 50, now you have to imagine, Jordan, that at a point in time, that drop off is going to level out, right? So if they can even keep a third of people beyond the 2-year mark and keep going, with how big the TAM is, even if 2/3 eventually shed off and you can keep a third, at $30 a month for a 60% margin product that you never have to invest marketing in after you acquire the product again, because it's an ongoing subscription. We're talking about SaaS here, basically, right? Not really, but it's a subscription service. That is actually a pretty darn high retention rate, you know, when you think about it, right? And then you could start adding stuff on. It's not really difficult to think about Barkbox, and I don't want to talk about valuations too much because we're not fundamental investors. We're also not investment advisors, so do not do what we do or take this as advice, guys. This is what we're doing. This is a SPAC that we're actually invested in. I already invested in it.
Did you?
But don't copy this because we don't know your risk tolerance.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the SPAC. So they're expected to go public under the ticker symbol BARK, which is awesome.
Fantastic.
But it looks
By
like
the way, STIC is not too bad for the SPAC.
STIC, yeah. STIC is the.
I love the sticks.
True.
And do I have that? Let me see if I can pull up.
And they have a couple lawsuits right now, so something must be happening behind the scenes with the SPAC company, the shell company that they're moving into. I don't know if that will be, how big of a deal that is if it gets resolved. I don't know yet. But all I care about, guys, is not whether this company can go from 1.6 to $5 billion, which I think it can. What I care about is what does the next 12 months look like for Barkbox. I think the next 12 months is tremendous traction, tremendous growth. I don't think they're going to disappoint. I really don't. I don't think Barkbox disappoints us in the next year. I also think there's a FOMO aspect to this trade. There are a lot of people, myself included, we hit on almost every big 2020 pandemic trade, except for the pets trade. Okay,
and there's a lot of people. We did not do the pets trade other than just a core holding in Amazon.
Yeah,
which is kind of the go-to pets trade for me.
Yeah, I mean, Liz, I'm in Amazon too, but we kind of missed out on Chewy. We missed out on the other half a dozen pet-related trades that we should have been in on. But there's some FOMO here. By the way, is this a brand that I think the newbie Robin Hooders will connect with? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say they're going to look at the social media and they're going to respect that, okay? Yeah. They're going to respect it.
What do we know? I know we're not fundamental investors. What do we know about the valuation, though, of this acquisition company? We know that the Barkbox people say their net revenue estimates for 2021 are $369 million. Yeah. Net revenue growth, 65%. Their gross margins, 60%. What do we know? Like, where is it priced right now? You got in. What is the company?
I got in at a bad time, but I'm going to buy more. I got in like Friday, and I'm going to have to buy. It's dropped today. It was up to 19, then it dropped. I think what happened was there's a girl, I don't know, on Wall Street Bets that really hyped this stock last week. So I hate that we have to even talk about this, but it's just a reality. Hyped the stock, has a ton of followers, like a crazy number of followers. Sold the stock today at 19.10. So the stock popped huge this morning. This trader sold out. A bunch of other people followed, sold out after this trader. So I bought in before this person, like right when this person recommended it last week, because I saw that was part of what gave me a little bit of, I need to get in this now, because if this person's going to bring a lot of people with them, which is exactly what happened. This person sold out today. That's hurting the stock. I don't really care. I'm not investing for that. I think this thing will be hot this next year. I think people will connect with this stock. Dave, it's like a 5x revenue stock, right? Forward-looking revenue, roughly. Yeah. That's what it's priced at. It's not insane. Subscription service, high gross margins, pretty big TAM, hot industry sector, one of the few from the pandemic that's actually not going to likely contract after pandemic because people don't give the dogs back.
Yeah, the dogs are still there. You still have the
and
dog.
The subscription continues unless you actively cancel it. What is the standard initial subscription?
30 something a month, I think. It's like 30 something.
But is it a 3 month, 6 month, 12 month? Like what is the average of what people sign up for?
I would like to believe that they just have it going in perpetuity like every other subscription service on earth. And hopefully they don't make it ridiculously hard. This brand is so strong with their consumer connection. I can't imagine that they're pulling like a Sirius radio where they're making you like call in and then they try to I don't know what they're doing to try to get people to not unsubscribe. I've imagined they're probably pretty good customer service. People love the customer service, by the way. If you look at social really won me over on this company. I read probably 500 tweets, just random tweets with Barkbox, just to get an overall feel for how their customers connected to the brand, customer service, the excitement level. Guys, this is a company that pet owners talk about. They don't just use it, they talk about it. They talk to their family about it, their friends. When you get this, here's what's crazy, Jordan. If you're a Barkbox member, do you know what you probably want to do? You probably want to buy it for someone else in your life that has a dog, right? Because you're like, this is so cool. So-and-so, my girlfriend or my mom or my sister or whatever who has a dog would love this. And maybe you get it as a gift, because how difficult is it finding good gifts these days? It's next to impossible, right? So I don't know, man. I'm always going to invest with brands that are murdering it with social and with brand loyalty and with marketing. And they're doing all three here. So like, I'm willing to take the downside risk for a brand that's executing flawlessly. Like, how many times do you get to invest in a brand with just flawless execution in a big TAM? Like, I respect that so much. As an early stage investor, you know how hard that is to find, guys, right? Like, how many of the companies in our portfolio just murder it when it comes to that stuff? And when they do, more often than not, they're big winners for us.
Yeah. I mean, I love the concept. I just don't, man, I am not loving this whole SPAC craze, though. It's making me nuts. It feels like these things get overhyped, and then they're going to sell off whenever, whenever they actually get the deal goes
well, that's
through.
the thing. I'm not looking at Barkbox as a long-term hold, right?
Yeah.
So Barkbox, if you can play some momentum up front and Robinhood investors get behind it, maybe that's the play, right?
I don't know, guys. I'm not saying it's not a long-term hold. I'm just saying I don't need to worry about that piece now. And by the way, I don't believe that a SPAC in and within itself makes a company bad. I think what we'll find out this next year.
I think actually,
I don't think it makes a company bad. I just think that it's it's kind of become this thing this year. It's look, I mean, it's not the most efficient way to bring something public, right? I mean, it's.
I'm not so sure about that, because
it
Jordan
skips a lot of the inefficiencies, though. Like,
well, here's the deal, Jordan. What's the alternative? The alternative is you raise more money privately at lower valuations. Yeah, you have to pay a bunch of money to SPAC, 15-20%, right? To SPAC, but look at how much you get to raise money for relative to staying private for another few years and having to deal with like literally 2 VCs or 3 VCs that you're having to spend half your world just trying to get them to bid against each other, and it's a nightmare because you don't want to insult them, and it's a really weird relationship. I think I love it, man. I love companies going public earlier, no matter what it takes. I would wish they didn't have to spend so much money to do so.
Yeah.
But in the long term, Jordan, if they're going public at 1.5 billion, think about how much they'd have to spend to go public at 7 billion or 8 billion, right? Like, long term, it might be in their
long
favor.
term, you take the hit now. It's fine. Yeah.
But it is a subscription dog toy company. And, it's like, at the end of the day, I think that's what Wall Street's going to say. Wall Street's going to be like, it's a subscription dog toy company. Come on.
It's one of those. I think Wall Street is underestimating it, and I think that Robinhooders may overestimate it and jump in, and that's why I am going to play a little bit. But it's not going to be a big... this is more just fun. This is the fun side of investing, where occasionally you see something that you kind of like and you just do it.
Okay, I'll say this. Not high conviction for me. Not low conviction. Medium conviction. Why? Because more often than not, when I see something that's killing it on social and killing it with customer connection, call it Peloton. Remember Peloton? Wall Street just doesn't see it. And for me, that's a social arb opportunity. So like, I'm a social arb investor. I love situations where the company is killing it in ways that Wall Street has a difficulty appreciating. And I feel like this is one of those scenarios right here. So for me, it's a medium conviction trade. I have a few $100,000 in it. I could see myself adding another couple $100,000. That's possible. It's not a huge position for me, but it's not a minuscule position either. There's risk involved, obviously, but I feel reasonably well that they're going to kill it this next year. I think more money, more marketing, more funnel, more customers, more revenue. Fixed costs stay the same. Variable cost, right? Like go up, with sales. But as they cover those fixed costs, the company becomes more profitable over the next year. We've seen what this looks like with Peloton, and I like it.
And it looks like we're expecting this merger between the blank check company. For those of you who don't know what the term SPAC is, it's basically a shell company that has basically a blank check to then merge with another company to thereby take this shell company that is a public company and this non-public company and turn it into a public company, right? It's the shortcut to IPOing. And we're expecting that, we're expected to close sometime Q2 of 2021.
By the way, can we give a little bit of credit to Laugh Track in Discord?
Yes.
The dumbmoney.tv/Discord is on fire these days, and we have a high conviction channel where our community can do their work. Some of these community members are putting dozens of hours of social arb research, putting together their thoughts in these concise, high conviction reports. I was aware of Barkbox, but I read the report and I agree with just about everything that Laugh Track says in the report. And I think I love that we have the community. You don't have to wait on our show to see what we think. There are people in our community that are doing this work 24 hours a day. They're not financial advisors either, so do not just trade on this stuff in the Discord, but it's a great place to kind of surface opportunities and to kind of see other people poking holes on it, because we have another channel that's like a high conviction conversation channel where people can go back and forth and play devil's advocate and try to poke holes in the high conviction reports. So I love how the community is kind of putting themselves out there, doing the research, and then vetting the research and hammering it, and it really allows us and other members of the community to make pretty good decisions, right, on these trades.
Well, and they're doing the same things that we would do. So in this high conviction report, I see that they have G-trends charts over time. Barkbox in the U.S., it looks like, for looks like Barkbox versus Bark Spacebox. And then they paid someone $5 on Fiverr to give them similar web data, showing the increase in traffic there. And a little summaries.
Shady deal.
Yeah, I mean, Fiverr. That's a company that is that public?
By the way, the social media. I mean, if you look at people talking about Barkbox, I think they reference some of this in the report. Ever since Bailey received a Barkbox after she was hit by a car, she thinks every single package that comes in the mail is for her. Like, it's just crazy. Like, people, the way that these dogs are reacting to these toy boxes, man. Yeah. I don't know if it's in the owner's head that this is happening or if it's really happening, but it doesn't really.
They coat the toys in like beef scent or something.
Maybe that would be a great idea, right? Like, that's
the catnip of the dog world. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Happy first.
People are raving about
day.
the customer service in these reports as well.
They absolutely love it. Anyway, I highly recommend reading people's. And by the way, Barkbox, they have the greatest social media team. They respond to like every single tweet. I just love companies that execute like this, and I'm really going to try to apply this to a lot of the companies we're working on now that are early stage, that have a consumer component, that are out there on socials. You know, just going that extra step. Dave, we don't even do that at our restaurant to the degree that we probably should, and you probably don't either at the bar.
No, we definitely don't.
Responding to every single. I mean, we do a pretty darn good job at Chelsea Corner, but like every single, like Barkbox, it looks like they respond to every single thing, man. It's wild.
I've just now personally started responding to people who tag us in photos on Instagram, who tag the bar, responding from the bar, saying, just saying hey or whatever. Nice. And then trying to re-Instagram those, regram.
Nice. Anyway, Barkbox, I'm in, guys. That's it. I'm out. I'm in. I'm in
probably for a quarter of whatever you did.
Okay.
I'll be in for something. I like it.
Right?
Oh, Jordan likes it.
I do like it. I
love this, man. We got him hyped. Let's do it. By the way, we have another episode coming up that I cannot wait to do. So make sure you subscribe. By the way, if you didn't thumbs up,
you're about to go on vacation, though, aren't you?
No, I'm not going. No, I'm not doing that yet. Don't worry about it. But give us a thumbs up and subscribe, because we will be doing an episode soon on gift baskets, okay?
Yes.
Gift baskets are hot this holiday season. Hot, hot, hot. And another high conviction
But
report, by
can
the
it
way.
continue? Gift baskets seem like a very much a one-time and never again kind of item. So that's going to be a very interesting show.
We have Valentine's Day coming up, so that's a good opportunity for gift basketing.
And you
but
know what
then
the nice thing
St.
is
Patrick's
also,
Day gift baskets? A pot of gold?
you know, once you
April
here's
showers?
what's interesting.
An umbrella
This is
basket?
one of those situations where you have like an acceleration of just customer acquisition. Yes, a lot of people are getting gift baskets that ordinarily wouldn't. What does that mean? Now they're on a customer file. They're on an email list, okay? So it's not, who knows what's going to happen post-pandemic, but this particular company we're going to talk about has massively increased their customer database this year. And I think a lot of that is going to pay off next year because, and by the way, they're new in the gift basket, new-ish in the gift basket business. And I think the market might not fully appreciate just the gift basket side of their business. So we're going to talk about that hopefully coming up, maybe tomorrow? Maybe this week, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point this week.
That means you definitely have to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure on your way out that your thumb is blue, you've turned on that like button, and if you already did, unturn it off and turn it back on. Just, do the thing.
By the way, Dave, you killed it with this Dumb Money OG shirt. I absolutely love what you did with this. It's I don't know if you can see it in fine print, but it's the Dumb Money. It's Dumb Money Live on the OG. I love it, dude.
It is. I have the same one in the light gray, and it is probably my favorite design. And I think we're going to stop selling it in the merch store completely because to be an OG with the 2020 shirt, boom, you got to get it in 2020.
And
right?
we don't even make money off our merch store. It's just all it costs, guys. I mean, it's ridiculous.
We do it because we had people asking for it. And a lot of ideas come from the Dumb Money community, and I have to give a shout out to, well, I can't do it now because I don't have any of the information, but the shirt that has the three of our heads in cartoon format, that was a direct idea from a member of the Dumb Money Discord community. He tweeted at me, and I wish I could tell you who that was, but boy.
If you go to dumbmoney.tv, dumbmoney.tv has the merch store link on it and all the other links to our Twitter accounts.
All the places where you can follow us.
Podcast, everything. All right, guys.
That's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you right back here on, well, I have to find the button. I'm terrible at being a show host and producer at the same time. It's all, I'm doing the whole show from my laptop in a hotel room today, and Chris is about to go on vacation, and you better bring some equipment because I expect to see crispy goodness, full 1080 from you. None of this, drop your iPhone in the middle of the show anymore.
Maybe the hotel will have better internet than your house.
Possible. All right, we're Dumb Money. We'll see you tomorrow.